Alright, so I put the grains in. We are at the strike temp, so I'm going to go ahead and underlit. I also put the corn mixture. I put rice hulls on the false bottom and put the corn mixture on top of that, so all the water should just lift it all up. And I also added SMB and ascorbic acid. Alright, we're done underletting. I'm going to go ahead and add my mash salts. And then mix it up. Okay, I'll check the temp in a few minutes and then pH in about 10 after the sample's cooled off. Alright, I had to heat up another 6 quarts to get up to my mash temp, which isn't a surprise when it's 30 degrees out. But this is the pH reading at 10. What you want to do is get it close to room temp before you put the probe in, and then let it sit about 5 or 10 minutes, because the readings will go up or down. So right now we are at 538, and according to brewing water, see that, we should be at 5.34, so almost perfect. This is a sample at 30. It came up a little bit, probably because my sample cooled down to the 50s. But that's okay, it's just a little bit up. And I forgot to mention, another thing I like to do is filter the sample. Get all the grains as much as you can out. So I'm going to let the mash sit about 75-90 minutes. Because I'm in no hurry. And we'll come back and filter. It's been about 75 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and circulate. What I'll do is I'll zoom in on the sight glass and we'll watch it clear up. Might take a little while because I got 3 pounds of corn. Alright, I've been circulating about 10 minutes. Show you here with the flashlight. Looks like it cleared up really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and drain into the kettle. Alright, right now I'm going to drain into the kettle really slow. That way we don't compact the grain bed too much. Looks like we have a nice golden color. This will take about 30-40 minutes, so I'll come back. Alright, I'm at the strike temp around 169, 170. One thing about your sparge water, make sure it's around 5.0, 5.1, somewhere in there on the pH. You removed most of the sugars from the mash, so if you use hot water, it can extract tannins. It's said that it's the sugars that hold the tannins in, which is why you can do a decoction without getting any tannins. So I'm going to go ahead and run it in there and recirculate the mash, drain it into the kettle, and get the boil ready. We are done sparging, so I'm going to go ahead and lift the kettle and get the flame going. Alright, while this is heating up, I want to show you something weird that happened last year. You see where the wire wraps around the winch? Well, last year, I don't know why, but the stink bugs decided to make a nest in there. So of course you know what happened when I went to go lift the kettle. They all got grinded up. So I had to go get some kind of pizza. I went and got a pizza pan and put it over the kettle. That way when I'm lifting it up, nothing falls in. Just one of those weird things. This is the boil pH. I was hoping it was a little bit lower. I'm not going to worry about it. We're at the 60-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and add the Hopshot, 15 milliliters. But before, I don't like to dump it straight in. I just mix it up with some of the boiling wort. You can see it's floating on top. And run some more wort through it. Whew. Alright, that should be good. I'm going to add the hops at the 10-minute mark. and the Whirl flock pill. And these are the hops. If you're wondering what they smell like, they're very spicy. Then I'll add the 5-minute and then shut the flame off and add another ounce and let that sit. And then drain to the fermenter. We're almost at the end, so I'm gonna check the gravity. Just take a quick sample, cool it off. Some people don't bother, but I like to cool it off. Alright, so we should get about 1063 at 6.5 gallons. This camera doesn't pick it up too good, so I'm going to see if I can use the GoPro. I think we got it. Let's see. Right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it is at, oops. It's saying almost 1063. So I'm going to throw the other hops in. And let it sit a little bit, cool it off, and then drain to the fermenter. We are cooled down to 65. So one thing I like to do is add a little bit of the, decant a little bit of the yeast. That's one thing they do with the Lodo method to prevent staling. Alright, I'm going to run into the fermenter. First, let me add the yeast. Oh, that's really compact. Ah. A little bit more in the bottom. Okay, good. Now I'm going to get my modified filter ready. hook up the hose. Alright, we are ready. You really don't want to splash your beer, even though everybody shakes their carboys up for oxygen. But it also causes the wort to stale a little bit. That's why I added the yeast first. It'll eat any oxygen coming through. Then I'm going to add some pure oxygen and add the yeast nutrient straight to the fermenter. Some people put it in a boil, I just dump it in the fermenter. Alright, we'll give that 5-10 minutes and we'll come back. Alright, we're done draining to the fermenter. Let's check out this modified hop filter. See how it works. Try to pull it out easy. So I left some in there. Look perfect. This thing works so good. If you're having trouble filtering and you're trying to get all the wort out as possible. Now I only used 2 ounces in this one, but I definitely caught a lot of it. I'm going to Alright. I'm going to add some of the yeast nutrient. We'll put it right in the fermenter. That's good. Kept that up. And then we'll hit it with some pure oxygen. I don't think you could see that. Probably not. We'll hit it for about 30 seconds. Then when I'm done, I'll just put it in the keezer. We'll come back when the airlock's going. Alright, it's been 3 weeks, so let's go ahead and pour this. Alright, well here we are. Let me show you. It's been sitting a couple weeks. It's fairly clear. I didn't use no gelatin, so I didn't expect it to clear up too much. And also I used 3 pounds of corn, so that didn't help. So for fermenting, what I did was 53 degrees for 2 days, 55 for 2 days, and 57 for the rest of the time. When I got to about 6 points from being finished, I put it into the keg and added the spunning valve and set it for about 13 psi. I put it in the same room where my wood stove is, and the temps got anywhere from 50 to 90 degrees. So I kind of broke the rules on the derest, but I think because of the spunning valve, it suppressed the yeast a little bit and it kept it from any off flavors. So that kind of taught me I could break the rules, do whatever with that. And and when I chilled it down, I went by the 5 degree rule because I was really in no hurry. They say drop it 5 degrees every day, so I ended up doing that anyways. I think down to about 33 degrees. So I'll probably raise this up a little bit. Now I did. Let's see if we can see this. Where are we at here? I think you can see the salts. Yeah, I went a little bit higher than a traditional Pilsner because it's a Mexican style. And I noticed when I try Modelo, it seems to be a little, to me it's a little bit more salty. So I use a little bit more calcium chloride than usual. As for the nose on this, there's really not much. But I am getting a nice flavor from the Zappa hops. It's kind of hard to explain. This is actually kind of a little sweet. I think it's from the corn, but it's very crispy and goes down very easy. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Cheers.